Welcome back to FM Stories. We're about to embark on season 5 of the Glory Hunt to Save. No big jobs open up in the summer, so we're still at Man City, giving it another go in the Champions League, and we've done quite a bit of business in the transfer window. So without further ado, let's get into the action. So obviously, we've already won the Premier League and the FA Cups. We've already got the English trophies wrapped up as far as Glory Hunt to Save is concerned. We're really going for the Champions League this season with this Man City team. And as we said, we've done some business in the transfer window. In terms of the outgoings, there were some players left at the end of the contract. We've sent a load of young players out on loan. And then we've sold Oscar Aranda, we've sold Nathan Ake, we've sold John Stones, we've sold Maximo Perron. Calvin Phillips has gone out on loan as well. And then we've brought 3 players in. So we've brought in Xavi Simons, just to give us some more quality in the middle of the pitch. He can play behind the front man, can play in the 2, can potentially play the defensive midfield role at a push. We've then picked up Lorenzo Granelli, young player, one certainly for the future, from Milan. Really a centre forward. We did struggle without a recognised number 9 in the games that Haaland missed last season. And then we only really had Edison as a senior goalkeeper. So we've gone out and signed Donnarumma in the summer to come in and challenge Edison. He'd lost his place at PSG after they signed Diego Costa. So we've now got 2 goalkeepers very similar in quality to really challenge each other for that number 1 spot. Obviously, the league isn't the be-all and end-all this season. We won it last season, so we've already wrapped that up. But in terms of looking at the quality of the squad, we favourites to win the league. We've got most of the media dream 11, so hopefully that'll stand us in good stead once the European competitions come round. We have already picked up a trophy in winning the Community Shield 4-2 against Manchester United. We were pretty comfortable. We were 3-0 up. They pulled a couple of goals back, either side of a Bernardo Silva goal, which made it 4-2 and gave us the trophy. We've got an interesting start to the season, league-wise. We've got Arsenal up first, then we've got Chelsea. So it's second last season, third last season who bottled it. We've got Sunderland, then we've got Man United, and we've also got Everton and Newcastle before the end of September as well. So we've got a tough start league-wise, but as I said, the focus this season is really on the Champions League. We're into September and the beginning of our Champions League campaign. We're starting with a home game against AC Milan. The league season started okay so far. First up, we beat Arsenal 3-2. We got off to a great start away from home, 3-0 up after 14 minutes, and we were hanging on a bit towards the end. We then followed that up with a 2-0 victory at home against Chelsea, 2 late goals from Xavi Simons getting the result, and then a 2-1 victory away at Sunderland. We were then at home against Man United and got beat 2-0. Erling Haaland missed a penalty and we were pretty rubbish. We won in the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup, beating Birmingham 5-0. And then in the most recent game, we went away to Everton and got a pretty late equaliser. Unfortunately, in that game, we also suffered injuries to Bernardo Silva and Erling Haaland, who are both going to be out for a couple of weeks. As we said, we've got the beginning of this Champions League campaign with our opening game against Milan. The following week, we've got Napoli at home as well. And we've got a fairly decent run of games in the league phase, so hopefully we should be able to finish in that top 8 and make it through to the round of 16. So this is the side we've picked for the game against Milan. Obviously, as you can see, they're managed by Jurgen Klopp, and they do have a player we sold them in our last season at Bayern Munich, Atabolu, in goal. We've got a pretty strong team available. Obviously, as we said, we're missing Bernardo Silva, we're missing Erling Haaland, both through injury. So we've gone with Musiala and Bob in the 2 centre midfielder roles, with Xavi Simons and Foden behind Granelli, who were giving his first start. We're also giving Donnarumma his first start as well. Both of them former AC Milan players, so hopefully that doesn't come back to be a bit of a problem. Right, so they're going with a 4-3-3. We've got that sort of narrow 4-3-3. Very little's happened in the opening 10 minutes. We've had very little of the ball as well. Right, Ataboli with the goal kick out to Timber. Kalulu. Right, we're not getting really close to them. We're not closing them down at all. And this might be a problem with the lack of width in the team. Rafael squares it. Ketelare scores. And that was far, far too easy, the way they've just gone from one end of the pitch to the other. Theo Hernandez was an acres of space there. Rafael down the side. Pulls it back. Lovely first touch and finish, but we should be much better than that. And there we are, half-time, 1-0 down, and we've not really been in this game at all. And we're going to need to make some changes at half-time as well. Right, so we made 2 changes at half-time. Alphonso Davies and Phil Foden were both struggling fitness-wise, so we brought on Akanji, moved Gvardiol to left-back, and we've brought on Matheus Nunes and pushed Oscar Bob forward a touch. Second half starting like the first half started, with not an awful lot happening. Right, Rico Lewis into Musiala, back to Rico Lewis. Musiala goes down in the box, and it looks like we've been given a penalty here. And it has been given. It's the first time we've really done anything going forward. It's Xavi Simons to step up to take the penalty, sends the keeper the wrong way, and puts us 1-1. I mean, based on the match stats, you would say we probably deserve to be even in front, but it doesn't seem to have reflected in the highlights that we've seen. A corner from Matheus Nunes, aimed towards the back post. Ruben Diaz rescues it and then swings the ball over into the box. The keeper punches it as far as Rodri. His shot's turned behind for a corner. Another Matheus Nunes corner though, to the back post. Ruben Diaz gets his head on it and it goes over and wide. Trincao with a free kick goes for goal. And the keeper does well to turn it behind. Trincao's across to take the corner. It's going to be the in-swinger. Ruben Diaz got his head on it. And somehow, despite how bad we've been for most of this game, we've gone 2-1 up. Just a lovely flighted corner to the back post. We had 2 players up above their player at the back post there. Ruben Diaz is the one that got his head on it. And there we go, full time. Somehow we've managed to come away with a 2-1 victory. And we're straight back into the action with a game at home against Napoli, the second game in the League phase of the Champions League. We've not played another game since the Milan game. They've somehow managed to we're into the 5th season, somehow they've managed to keep a hold of Kvaratskhelia and Osimhen, which isn't a particularly good sign for this game. But we've gone with the same team that started the last game against Milan. So they're going 4-2-3-1. We've got that narrow 4-3-3 that we've been playing. Right, Rico Lewis with a throw for us on the right. Gets it back from Musiala, back to Musiala, driving towards the edge of the box. And that's a much better start than we put in the game against Milan. 1-0 up after 8 minutes. Just Lewis and Musiala working the ball between themselves on the right-hand side, and then Musiala just driving into the box and lets fly with his left foot and beats the keeper. Right, a throw on the left from Davies. Foden goes back to Donnarumma. Gvardiol in to Oscar Bob, on to Davies. Foden, we're moving the ball pretty well. Bob. And Xavi Simons went from distance and the keeper turned it behind. Right, a long throw coming in for them. Flat once, flicked on. Luckily straight into the arms of Donnarumma. And he throws it out to Rico Lewis down the line for Xavi Simons, Rodri into Musiala, Oscar Bob. We're moving the ball pretty quickly now. He's tackled, but Foden gets it wide to Alphonso Davies, into Bob from distance, and the keeper flicks it over the top for a corner. Foden to take it. It's going to be the outswinger with the left foot towards the near post. And then we've given away a free kick. And there we are, half-time, 1-0 up. We've played pretty well. We've certainly played better than we did in the first half against Milan. Foden's picked up a knock, so he's going to have to come off at half-time. But hopefully we can hold on and secure another 3 points. Right, so we made that one change at half-time. We've brought Matheus Nunes on for Phil Foden, and we've pushed Musiala forward. Lewis with a throw to Ruben Diaz. Goes back to Donnarumma, wide to Alphonso Davies. Cuts in field. Xavi Simons onto Musiala, making the run. And just drags his shot a bit, but the keeper turns it behind for a corner. Matheus Nunes across to take it. It's going to be the in-swinger on the right foot. Aims towards the back post. Ruben Diaz got up, but couldn't keep the header down. Right, free kick from distance. Xavi Simons to take it. Chips it over the wall. Rico Lewis in the box. Scores. We're going to get a VAR check, and I suspect he'd gone just a touch too soon there. But no, he hasn't. So Xavi Simons just flicks it over the wall. Lewis takes a touch, fires it past Meret, and that's us 2-0 up. Our defender just dropped with him. It's perfectly judged, timed, and a lovely goal off the training ground. And Donnarumma with a free kick to Rodri, wide to Rico Lewis. Pushing forward down the right, into Xavi Simons. Into the box, squares it. Musiala scores, but he did look like he was in front of the ball there. It might just be the angle, but we're going to get a VAR check here. And he was offside. No need to be offside there at all. So Xavi Simons works his way into the box, and he went far too soon. He didn't need to. He's well in there on his own. Right, Davies with a throw. Short to Bob, back to Rodri. Davies to Rodri again, driving towards the edge of the box. Let's fly from distance. And it looked like it flicked the bar on the way over. And then from the goal kick, they've gone wide down the left. They've played it into Kvaratskhelia, who gives the ball away to Matheus Nunes, who drives forward. Xavi Simons drifts into the box and somehow beats the keeper at the near post for his 4th goal of the season. We've put a bit of pressure on in the midfield. Matheus Nunes then finds Xavi Simons, who just drifts across the pitch, round the defence, and then basically catches the keeper by surprise and beats him at the near post. Right, throw for them. We've won it back in our own half. Matheus Nunes now bringing the ball forward. Musiala back to Matheus Nunes. Xavi Simons back to Ruben Diaz. Rico Lewis down the right. Gets to the byline, pulls it back to Matheus Nunes, whose cross finds Xavi Simons. We've still got it in the box there. Rico Lewis plays it against Kvaratskhelia, gets it back. Then Rico Lewis again down the right-hand side. Gets to the byline, drifts it infield, pulls it back for Matheus Nunes. Keeper makes a good save. Alphonso Davies has got the ball, but nothing comes of it. Right, Gvardiol to Rodri. Ruben Diaz wide to Rico Lewis again. We've got some joy down this right-hand side in this game. Kvaratskhelia pinches it off him. Xavi Simons has been scythed down there by Baumgartner, who's got a straight red card for it. Right, a late corner, Trincao with the in-swinger towards the back post. The keeper comes and claims it. And they've gone long. Alphonso Davies heads it down for Guendouzi. Back to Alphonso Davies. Driving down that left-hand side. And they've cleared it. And Osman's got the ball. Gvardiol nicks it off him. Back to Guendouzi, who drives forward a bit. Finds Trincao. Matheus Nunes wide to Rico Lewis with space. Matheus Nunes then drives it into the box, and there's Trincao with a late goal to make it 4-0. It's got to be just about the last kick of the game, but Rico Lewis again driving down the wing. Matheus Nunes in acres of space just fires it in low, and Trincao just diverts it past Meret for 4-0. And there we go, 4-0, comfortable performance. We were never really under too much of a threat there. Much better performance than the Milan game. And that's the Champions League campaign, got off to about as good a start as we could have expected. And there we are, the end of another episode. Season 5 has begun. The only real challenge for us this season is the Champions League. We've won our opening 2 games there. Obviously, the performance against Milan wasn't quite what we wanted, but the performance against Napoli was much better. We've won the opening 2 games in the Champions League without Bernardo Silva and Erling Haaland as well, which is hopefully a good sign for the future. And we've started reasonably well in the league. We've got 10 points from 5 games. We've only lost 1. Obviously, we won the league last season, so there's not as much importance on that this season from the Glory Hunter safe point of view. But if we're going to survive to be able to challenge for the Champions League this season, we're going to need to be up there near the top of the table. So join us next time to see if we can maintain this good start in the Champions League. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.